Hey everybody, it's Tara Green here, and we're going to talk a little bit about the weekend astrology and what's going on in the future. Now, as we all know, Mercury finally turned direct yesterday on the 3rd, but Mercury is actually what's called stationary direct, but is moving on today. So from late Taurus there, where it's conjunct the most demonic star in the sky, Medusa, who was not really a demon, it's going to take Mercury until June the 18th till it actually comes back to its turning point when it went retrograde in Gemini. Okay, so we're still going to be kind of going through and sifting through and redoing a rather horrendous Mercury retrograde, I would have to say, from personal experience, because it started out in Gemini, which is the sign it rules, and went back into Taurus, making it very real. Okay, so today, the moon's in Leo, so it's time to party. Leo rules the heart. It rules our wills, it rules our courage, our daring, our strength, and it rules drama. So Leos like to be the kings and the queens and role play, and they love to be the center of attention. There are shy Leos, I have seen that. Usually when the sun is in the 12th house and they're hiding their light, sometimes in the 4th as well. But anyway, Leo, shine like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond, you know. Listen to your heart, wear your heart on its sleeve, you know, let everybody know how you feel. So that's a big uplifting, kind of fiery, you know, time. The moon is in the sign that the sun rules. So the moon trines Jupiter, that just happened late on the 3rd. And then here we are at the 4th. The moon trines Mars in Aries. This is a big oomph, a big energetic push forward. You know, Jupiter and Mars have been together in Aries, and so for all Aries, for all fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, early fire signs, is a time for you to move forward, but, you know, good, upbeat, optimistic day. The moon will square Venus in Taurus, again, early in the morning. This could come through in your dreams. Again, it's stubborn. Leo is a fixed sign, like Taurus and Scorpio and Aquarius. So he said, she said, you know, Leos kind of like to manipulate and run the show, so be careful that that energy doesn't prevail too much during the day. But the big news of today is, of course, you can see right there, that Saturn, the big ringed planet, the father time, the grim reaper, the tax man. Saturn, the planet of old age, of maturity, of reality. Saturn rules everything that's physical in the 3rd dimension, you know, is turning retrograde. And so Saturn does this. Don't panic. Saturn turns retrograde every year like clockwork for about 4 months. So Saturn will be retrograde until October the 20th and the 23rd. So for the next, you know, 4.5 months or so, Saturn will retrace everything that starts with RE. Retrace, redact, retract, revisit, renew, rest, you know, go back over all of the gains we've made while Saturn moved ahead. Now, Saturn turns retrograde at, let's see, what degree does Saturn turn retrograde at? At around 24 degrees, 26 degrees, I believe, Aquarius, and 25 degrees, 26 degrees, okay, around that, okay, and it'll go back from there. So if you have planets in the way earlier from 26 degrees back, I believe it's going back to around 22, you will feel that energy the most, but everybody will feel it. So Saturn and Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the sign of freedom and revolution and invention and breaking free. And then Saturn is always the restricting quality, even though Saturn traditionally rules Aquarius. I know for a lot of Aquarians, there, you know, if you don't know traditional astrology, you'll be kind of flipped out that how can Saturn rule freedom-loving Aquarians, the people that are unique individuals who do not run with the crowd, who are not status quo. But it's where Saturn gets to have a bit more of a higher-minded expression of humanity in Aquarius, whereas Saturn rules Capricorn as well. It's earthy, it's restricting, it's feminine. Traditionally, she was the great mother. Saturn was the great mother anciently, ruling Capricorn. That was a feminine, receptive earth sign. And then in Aquarius, it's her day sign, Saturn's day sign. So it really represents a kind of lofty, a higher mentality. It's an air sign, a higher consciousness, you know, of humanity, because, you know, the sign of Aquarius is a human pouring water, sometimes seen as a from the Romans. It was like a water bearer, a man, or a goddess. But the water meant consciousness. That's why people think it's a water sign. I mean, it is literally a water sign, but it meant pouring down cosmic consciousness. So Aquarius rules the internet. So all those high-tech stocks, rules AI. It rules cryptocurrency. It rules any kind of new invention, science, robotics, G5, all of that stuff. And so it can be a great blessing, but can also be very not good. It's inhuman. It's transhuman in a way as well, and it represents electricity. So your energy is going to shift. You'll probably feel that as Saturn goes retrograde. So, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. And all retrogrades are good. They're good, positive medicine. So Mercury, as it turns stationary direct, is exactly squaring Saturn. So again, the ideas, the thoughts, your headspace that you're in right now as Saturn and Mercury change direction, you should really take note. Mercury is in Taurus, again, a fixed earthy sign. So there may be real things and your ideas about things that are kind of maybe at odds with each other. So you might want to do some self-examination there about maybe I'm thinking it's one way, but it's not. So anyway, use Saturn retrograde as a good time to redo, if you want to redo a website or any kind of project, organization, working with things. Cryptocurrencies may take a downturn even more so. At this point, I know a lot of tech stocks have gone down, and a lot of reviewing of any kind of medical invention or radical things that have been going on. Now we're seeing that things are, especially with the Johnny Depp trial, people are seeing this as a big loss for feminists and the Me Too movement. There's a big, Saturnine backlash, against fear of women's power, in the States, especially abortion, taking away gay rights and things like that, because things kind of moved ahead a bit too fast for most people. So I'm not saying that's a good thing or a positive thing or a bad thing one way or the other. I'm just saying that Saturn always restricts, right? And so we have to live within those restrictions. But Saturn is always discipline, and it still rules career as well. So you may want to retool your career, rethink that. Also, Saturn represents fathers. So there may be big changes in the way you relate to your father or a father figure, a boss. Organizations are changing. They're also, trimming down. I think Elon Musk just said he was going to trim down 10% of the people working at Tesla. He's very much the high-tech king, Elon Musk, and then Saturn, he's the boss, and he's trimming down his workers, always in line with Saturn retrograde. Okay, so the moon sextiles the sun in Gemini. So we're in Gemini time. Things are very light, much more positive. It's good to connect with people, to chat, go out and party, and it'll be easy to flirt with people. The moon trines Chiron and Aries, so ability to kind of be a bit more vulnerable, be strong, be strong in your vulnerability. Trines are always nice positive aspects. The moon squares Uranus and Taurus. So speaking of the devil, Saturn is the devil, and Uranus is the radical planet that in modern astrology rules Aquarius. So, again, this is like, could be somebody new, could be something, big change, maybe something shocking that you weren't expecting. Uranus is always like the shock of the new, something unexpected and chaotic. So on the 5th, again, the moon will oppose Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn, again, not really budging right now, so people might really be digging in their heels. And, it could be quite exciting because opposites attract. So you might find yourself suddenly attracted to somebody very different. Remember, Saturn is always karmic. So if you meet somebody who makes your heart beat faster, that could be very much a karmic contact there, which you're not aware of consciously. And then Leo moon in conjunct Neptune and Pisces, and there you go. Neptune and Pisces is where we project onto others what we want to see, but it's also a blind spot at this point. The moon squares Mercury in Taurus. So again, Mercury is just starting to move ahead there, just starting to find our footing, our being able to speak more directly. But there's a bit of a challenge there, or just somebody might be a little too hard-edged. And then at 7:12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the moon goes void, of course, for the next few hours. So the moon in conjuncts Pluto as well. So those two in conjuncts of the day indicates those in conjuncts are 150-degree angles are where the planets do not see each other. So that strong, powerful courageous, daring Leo moon, and then Pluto in Capricorn, which can be quite secretive, working underground, working behind the scenes. Can be a lot of big power. Pluto is always power, lots of change, lots of transformation. The moon enters Virgo at 11:22, those nice master numbers, in Pacific Daylight Time, but it will not enter Virgo and get out of that void until 2:22 a.m. on the 6th. Okay, this is the Queen's Jubilee, big weekend for the Queen, 70 years on the throne, whether you like her or not. Still a major accomplishment. So wishing you all the best blessings. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm at tarottarot.com. Follow me on my blog at infinitynow.wordpress. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I'll let you know about any upcoming workshops. So sending you many, many blessings. Have a great, safe weekend.